What's up, fantasy freaks? It's been another crazy week in fantasy with all the injuries that have been happening. But first up, we have to talk about the Warriors. They got their season back on track with a gritty win against the Raiders. RTS with this great individual try, beating three players and showing just what an X Factor player he can be, and how the Warriors are even stronger this year than they were last year. Let's move on to my round 3 review. 736 points was okay, considering I only had 17 players this week. A round rank of 37k still puts me well inside the top 25%. This is a marathon, not a sprint, and hopefully we can make up ground this week, thanks to a few strategic decisions earlier, like holding Campbell for 3 rounds to save me a trade, and grabbing Lussick from round 1 before he was the only hooker named for the Eels. So my overall rank is just under 15k, which isn't ideal, but my team value is strong at 10.144 mil and 579k in the bank. The king of the round this week was Cleary with 75 points. He did exactly what the price tag says he should, and could have been more if he didn't come off early with what turns out to be a significant injury that could see him miss 4 weeks. I had a few peasants in my team this week, but the lowest of the low was Strange with a meager 12 points. 9 missed tackles, 2 penalties conceded, and an error equates to 24 points in demerits. So it's understandable why his score was trash. The other peasants include Burbo with 15, playing in a razzle-dazzle side-to-side game that didn't go his way. Keeney with 18 and a Titans team that got mauled by the Dogs. They were trying to get him into the game, but the Dogs' defense had all the answers. Hughes with 17 in 20 minutes, his lowest minutes for the year, did his job. He just needs an injury to get some more minutes, and he'll be good. And the way injuries are going this year, we should have him starting from front row in a few weeks, or he'll be in the casualty ward. Going through the rest of the team from the top, Lussick with 28 points was disappointing, but they won't play the Seagulls every week. He got the 80 minutes, and that's what we like to see. I've been impressed with his play, and he could be a season keeper. Even the best players have down weeks. Salmon with 37 was awesome, back in the middle where he can get through his work. Only 41 minutes, which is a concern, but he's going nowhere at this stage with a B of 9 for next week. Totola with 41 was again solid, if unspectacular. I want to see some more offloads from him. He definitely has the size and strength to do it, but the Rabbitohs have been down to start the season, and maybe they are lacking a bit of confidence. Terrell May, cha-ching, 50 points and 45k price rise, and now named to start. Here's the beast. A definite potential captain option for this week. Piakura with 30, got moved to the centres and struggled, and now he is injured. At 44% owned, he has caused a lot of coaches some headaches this season. We have to wait and see how serious his injury is before locking to trade him. Hosking with 48 and 60 mins was awesome. Happy to see those minutes. If he can keep that up, we should make some more bank before moving him on. Hopefully to Fafita, who could be back this week. Hutchison with another solid 37. Again, nothing great, but just keeps ticking along, beating his break even. Pappenhausen 51 was good, and he is great value. Ponga with his highest score of the year with 52, but still not quite the heights I had anticipated. He has made as many errors as tackles so far in his first 3 games, with 7. And no tries and only 1 try assist shows that he is way down on attacking output. I'm sure once Cogger gets things going, Ponga will benefit. Brandon Smith with 44 got a few extra minutes with Walker getting injured. He looks good, but I think his role is more impact than 80 minutes, which is not ideal considering he averaged 71 minutes at the back end of last year. Galvin was 60. He looks like the cash cow of the year, going up 72k this week. The Tigers were awesome, which is great to see, as I am definitely a Benji fan, and I want the Tigers to succeed. Finally, Flanagan with 46, a great score when I needed it. Another try for Flano, and people need to recognise that he has game. He is not the dominant half at the moment, but Hunt has said he needs to try let go of the reins a little bit more, which would definitely help with Flanagan's output. Let's have a look at the numbers from round 3. I've sorted my team by average score versus their BE from Footy Stats. The players at the bottom of the list are obviously the ones more than likely that need selling, as it becomes less likely that they will hit their break even. Only 3 players have average scores lower than their BE, which is great. Ponga is a keeper, and I'm never selling him unless he gets injured. Cleary is injured and could be out for 4 weeks, which makes him a priority sell. But if he were out for only 3 weeks, then he is potentially a hold. He was already going to miss one of those rounds anyway as a buy, so we need to check the rest of the team if there is anyone else worth selling. Wong hasn't been named again with Collins out, and him still not getting the call up, that has to be bad signs. He already wasn't getting great minutes anyway, so he has to be a sell now. Jaden Campbell is back, which makes Keeney a priority sell too. There is another factor that makes it worth keeping Cleary. There was no one expensive that I want. I already have 500k in the bank, so if I can make 2 good trades without selling him, then that will put me ahead of the pack when he comes back, and everyone has to waste a trade to get him back. I think people will be hurting a lot this week with so many key personnel getting injured. Cleary, Moses, Taupiki, Collins, Tino, Piakura, Keeney, and then the Storm on their bye with Paps at 45% owned, Grant 30%, Chan 25%, and Wishart 13% owned. People are going to be struggling to put together a squad. Let's look at the market and see what's happening. I've taken these lists straight from the Footy Stats website, and I've got a key to show the players I own, Fantasy Freak Shield, players I want to buy, Pot of Gold, players I want to sell, Skull and Bones. I only own 2 from the hot list, but 5 from the not list, which is a sign my team is not in a good spot right now. But with a few trades this week, we can fix that up. My trades last week netted me 110 points and 117k in price rises. I don't think I'll do better than that all year, so it was a great way to start with my first 2 trades. The first player on the list that I like the look of is Api Coruscant. He had a great score on the weekend of 74. He was very busy, and he got an early mark because the Tigers had the Sharks dead and buried by the time he came off. He is priced at 48 and is averaging 66. That's 18 points difference. I'm pretty sure he won't maintain that for the season, but I think Benji knows how important he is to the team and will use him accordingly. He's a cut price keeper, definitely, but I already have 2 hookers, so it is not essential for me. Fogarty is the next on the list. He was on my list at the start of the season, but I needed to cut corners to get Ponga, and ended up with Hutchison. If I'd gone with Rapana and Fogarty combo, I would have been laughing. But that's enough of the what ifs. Is Fogarty still worth it? Well, based on the numbers so far, he is getting 10 points extra on last year just in kick meters. And he averaged 47 last year, so that could put him at 57. He is priced at 51, so that gives him 6 points of value. Then there is the way the Raiders are playing. They look good. Fogarty looks good. I think he's another cut price keeper worth getting in your team. Fini Fuyaki is next on the list, priced at 24 and averaging 39 for the last two. He seems like easy value if we need a cheaper option. And Carraz is the other player I want in my team. 89 points last week. That's an insane score. He averaged 48 in the centres at the back end of last year and is priced at 41. So there's 7 points of value right there. He has the dual position, which is very handy, and considering how my centres performed last week, it seems like they need strengthening up. He'll make some easy cash with a B of 14 this week, so he seems like a no-brainer. He's owned by 39% of the top 100 and 34% of the top 1,000, which makes him also important to pick up as protection. On that note, Fini Fuyaki is 44% owned in the top 100 and 37% in the top 1,000. Fogarty is 65% and 52% respectively, and Coruscant is 17 and 12%. This means Coruscant has the most reward to gain on the top players, but is the most risky. On the not list I have Cleary, Keeney, Wong, Hughes and Pappenhausen. I'm going to hold Cleary this week. I know he is the best captaincy option and I'll want him back. I'll wait to hear more news. But Keeney is an easy sell for me. Campbell is back, and also his performances were poor, so there's nothing to lose by selling him. Wong is also out of the team and is an easy sell. I don't know why people would be selling Hughes and Pappenhausen. There has to be better options than selling those two. So here are my trades. The money in the bank has made these two trades possible. Wong and Keeney out for Fogarty and Carraz. They are the safe plays. They have the higher ownership, so if they fail, the majority fails. Fogarty is the cut price captaincy option while Cleary is out, who you know will get 50 points minimum, which is kind of what we need right now with so many guns out. Due to my cautious approach, I didn't start with Carraz. I was worried he could end up on the wing and with Sherry and Tracy lurking, but he seems to have that spot, and if an 89 doesn't convince you, nothing will. Obviously I don't expect him to score that every week, but he will be a handy dual position player to have for the season. So here's how my team is lining up for round 4. Lussick up top with Flegler, Totola and May in the mids. I put the vice on May as he plays the first game. I was tempted to captain him, but I'm going to put the C on the new recruit Fogarty to have a big one. If the Tigers can steamroll the Sharks, then the Raiders should turn them into mincemeat. I've had to put Salmon into the edge spot for Piakura after the injury news, and Hosking is my only other available edge. Hopefully get 60 minutes again with another try. Galvin gets promoted to the starting side after his impressive start to the season. Ben Trebojevic and Carraz make up the centres. Chris, Ponga and Campbell at the back. Brandon Smith is first on the interchange. Then I've got the star-studded non-players of Cleary, Paps and Piakura. Hutchison and Hughes are 5th and 6th as they play first. Then Flanagan and finally Strange. So if Hughes goes poorly, I can move Flanagan into Piakura's spot, and then Strange into Paps' spot. If Hughes goes okay and Flanagan goes poor, I can switch Strange and Paps. If you have, please give this video a like to show me some support on my journey to become the NRL Fantasy Champ of 2024. Good luck for the round everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.